What's up guys, Chicks there from Chicks Tech Reviews. So today I bring you a brand new head-to-head flagship smartwatch comparison between the new Huawei Watch 3 Pro Elite versus the previous Huawei Watch GT2 Pro. So straight away I put the specs on the screen to give you guys an insight of what we are working with. So the green text shows the same features, red will show you the differences. So you can pause the video now if you want to read, but I will be showing this again later in the video. So let's begin with the prices. The new Huawei Watch 3 Pro Elite is currently priced $549 on the official Huawei website. Now the Huawei Watch GT2 Pro is selling for $229 on the official site. So it looks like the new Watch 3 Pro Elite is more than double in price. But how better is it than the GT2 Pro, and are you really getting your money's worth? Well, we shall certainly find out in this video. So we are going to start off with the physical differences. So side by side, Pro Elite is 48mm in diameter versus 46mm on the GT2 Pro. Not a lot between them if you look at them side by side. They look like the same size. I guess there's a difference of only 2mm, so not a big difference. But the build quality, the Pro Elite is made from a titanium watch case. You've got a, if I can show you, you've got a ceramic back and sapphire glass on the front. It's 14mm in thickness and weighs a good 108 grams with the straps on. The GT2 Pro also has a titanium watch case with ceramic back and sapphire glass on the front, but it's only 11.4mm in thickness and it weighs 66 grams. So GT2 Pro, slightly smaller in dimensions, thickness, and it's also much lighter. So this is how both watches look on my wrist. Now I have a wrist circumference of 7 inches, and you can see the GT2 Pro fits nicely. It's not too heavy, not too big or thick, but the Pro Elite has that bulk to it. You can see it sticks out considerably due to that thickness. It's certainly the heavier watch, but you are getting that slightly bigger display, but somehow it still manages to be quite comfortable on the wrist. In fact, both watches feel very nice on the wrist, and that's thanks to that ceramic back. Now, both watches have 2 buttons on the side. So you can see the GT2 Pro have 2 round buttons, and the Pro Elite actually has that wonderful 3D rotating crown, which I am quite frankly a fan of. I almost wish I could pull this off and stick it onto that watch. That would be quite amazing. Now, loudspeaker locations are also in the same place, in the bottom right side, just under the buttons. So looking at the bottom of both watches, we have our sensors, and both watches do support all-day heart rate sensor, SpO2 monitoring, but the Elite Pro also has a temperature sensor. Both watches also support wireless charging, so you can drop it on any wireless charger, and it does take just over 90 minutes for a full charge. But real-time battery performance is different. Now, with all health monitoring on, the Elite Pro will give you 2 whole days of battery life. However, with everything on, GT2 Pro will give you a good 14 days battery life. Now, the Elite Pro also has a battery saving mode, and to get to it, you go to settings, you scroll down to battery, swipe up, and then you'll see the ultra long battery saving mode. And if you activate it, it says it will give you 19 days and 8 hours left based on how much battery I have remaining. And I'm going to switch on the battery saving mode just to show you what to expect. So there you go. That's the battery saving mode. So it basically turns off the HarmonyOS and it switches to what looks like the same Huawei Light OS, or at least similar to the Light OS. Then you can achieve up to 21 days battery life. And it still allows you to track all your health with all the health sensors active. Just the internet related stuff will no longer work in this ultra battery saving mode. Now the GT2 Pro does not have a battery saving mode, as the standard OS is pretty efficient and it will give you a good 14 days battery life as standard. Now we also have a whole bunch of different watch faces in both watches, and the watch face quality has slightly improved in the new Elite Pro, with more complications and options to customize those watch faces. So you do have newly designed and better looking watch faces in the Elite Pro. Now let's talk about the wrist straps. Now the Elite Pro is the flagship model. It comes with the titanium straps. They are easy to remove and replace with any 22mm band. And as you can see, you've got a very beautiful finish, Huawei logo engraved there, easy to remove and replace. So there's one button there, you press it, you can pull it off. And if you need to adjust the size, you've got these tags which can be removed just by pushing down on those buttons and then releasing those clips, and you can adjust the size accordingly. And in the box you also get a pair of silicone straps, again easy to remove and replace with any 22mm band, and of course silicone is more water friendly. Now the GT2 Pro comes with leather straps finished in grey, and again 22mm band, easy to replace and remove with your own strap, and they both use the same size strap, so you could remove the GT2 straps and stick it on the Elite just to see how it looks. And you know what, I am about to do this. And as you can see, I've just swapped them around. So the GT2's leather strap is on the Pro Elite, and I can't say it looks any better, but the titanium straps on the GT2 Pro looks insane. That looks really nice. That looks so nice that I just want to put this on. Just wear this watch for a second. Wow, that feels really good. Impressed. Very impressive. Now both smartwatches are also 5ATM certified, so you can go swimming and you can track your swimming stats, including strokes, distance, calories, etc. Alright, now both watches support always on display, and I'll show you how to get to them because it's slightly different on both. So find your settings, open up settings on both watches. Now in the GT2 Pro it's quite straightforward, go to display and then you see always on display. But on the Elite Pro, if you go to display, you're not going to find it there. I'll show you. It's not there at all. You actually have to go into watch face and launcher, and over there you will see always on display. So if we just tap that, accept, and now you're selecting the always on display. So let's just select this one, for example, on the GT2 Pro. So that's always on now active. And the Elite Pro, you can also choose various different styles, and I'll try and choose the same one. You have exactly the same choices. So I'm going to select the same one on both. A matching AOD style will be used when the screen turns off. Watch faces that don't have a matching style will use the default style. The default can be customized. Otherwise, the always on display will match the existing watch face. So you can see what happened there. It matched the existing watch face. If we switch watch faces to something else, so say if we switch to the karate one, we let that time out and you can see what's happened there. So you saw it was based on its own theme. I'll show you a few AODs. See, that AOD is now active and you can see it follows the theme. So when the theme can't be followed, then it will use the default, which is neon lights, which should look like this. But you can see every single one has been followed perfectly fine so far. Let's try something like this. Wow, that's actually quite a nice AOD right there. So a more advanced always on display system on the Elite Pro than what you're getting on the GT2 Pro. Now I do want to point out that the GT2 Pro also does support downloading apps. Now you don't have a proper app store. Instead, through the Huawei Health app, you have an app section and you have a handful of apps that you can basically install on the watch. And you can see these are very basic apps. There is nothing like Strava or Spotify or even Facer or Watchmaker. So very, very simple apps. And this app list has not grown for many months now. I have not seen anything new in this. So very limited support. They tried to add app support, but it's not being done well. However, in the new model, you are getting a dedicated app store. Again, the app list is very limited, but it definitely should be easier for developers to produce apps for this watch. Very soon, we should be seeing a lot of the top apps come to this smartwatch, and that is what I'm waiting for. And when that does happen, I will be covering that in another video. That was the physical differences out the way. Now let's talk about the specs. The Pro Elite has a 1.43-inch AMOLED display with 326 pixels per inch and a resolution of 466 by 466, supporting always on display and Sapphire Glass on top. The GT2 Pro has a slightly smaller 1.39-inch AMOLED display with a higher 426 pixels per inch and a screen res of 454 by 454, and it also has Sapphire Glass on top. So side by side, 1.43 inches versus 1.39 inches doesn't look like a huge difference. Now the Pro Elite has a brand new chipset which is not even mentioned on the official site. So it's powered by the HiSilicon 6262 chipset, but not much info about it. But you do also get 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of internal storage. And the GT2 Pro is powered by the Kirin A1 with only 32 megabytes of RAM. That's right, people, I just said 32 megabytes of RAM and 4 gigs of internal storage. Now, the Elite Pro supports 2 gigahertz Wi-Fi, NFC, Bluetooth 5.2 and a 5 satellite GPS. The GT2 Pro, on the other hand, has no Wi-Fi, no NFC, but does support Bluetooth 5.1 and has a triple satellite GPS. The Elite Pro is running HarmonyOS, which is a full-featured smartwatch OS, including App Store, third-party app support with full health tracking and some great-looking menus and navigation experience. And you also have a full voice assistant called Celia. Now, the GT2 Pro is running Huawei LiteOS, which is very basic in functionality. It has no app store, no third-party support. This software is really just designed to be a smart fitness tracker, and also there is no voice assistant included in this watch. Now, all the health features seem to be nearly the same, if not exactly the same. You've got all-day heart rate sensor, all-day SpO2 blood monitoring. You've got automatic sleep monitoring, including daytime naps. You've got automatic workout detection on both. Now, both do support Bluetooth phone calls directly on the watch. You have automatic stress monitoring and lots of built-in exercise options. But the Elite Pro has an extra feature called skin temperature detection. Other than that, all the health features are exactly the same on both smartwatches. Now, I can't confirm if the sensors are the same or if we have upgraded sensors, but what I can do is test the accuracy of those sensors. All right, so I haven't done this before with 2 watches at the same time, but we're going to try anyway. So here is my medical grade O2 ring, which detects both heart rate and SpO2 levels at the same time. I wear it on my thumb and you will see it will work its magic straight away. And this is medical grade accuracy. Now, we're going to see how close to medical grade both of these are, and that should give us an idea if the sensors are the same. Let's see what happens. So 97% blood oxygen and 97 heart rate, you can see there, and the percentage shows the blood oxygen. So beginning with this watch, I think we're going to have to do this at the same time, to be honest. So open up the heart rate on both. All right, here we go. The O2 ring shows a heart rate of 93 beats per minute. We've got 96 and 97 on both, 95 on the Elite Pro. It seems like the Elite Pro is a little bit more accurate if we compare it to the O2 ring. So O2 ring 95, Elite Pro 95. So it does look like we've got upgraded sensors. I mean, we're not far off with the GT2 Pro. GT2 Pro is still pretty close to accuracy, but the Elite Pro is the closest. All right, so that was the heart rate test. Now let's check out the SpO2. So we're measuring the SpO2. My ring shows me 97%. Elite Pro shows us 98%. And we're just waiting on the GT2 Pro, which seems to be a bit slower. Again, giving an indication of much faster health tracking on the new watch. So it's giving a 99%. It gave 100 and then it dropped to 99. Quickly press the button on the ring, which times out every 30 seconds to save battery. So 97% is what we got on the O2 medical grade standard. Elite Pro 98 and 99. So they're all quite close together. It does seem like we have slightly faster health sensors, but the results are appearing quicker and a little bit more accurate in the Elite Pro. All right, next question is, what about iOS? Well, both of these smartwatches work fully on Android smartphones. You can be connected to more or less any Android smartphone with full functionality. However, both smartwatches also support iPhones. And you'll be pleased to know that all the health features work absolutely fine on iOS. So Bluetooth calls also works on iOS on both smartwatches. The only limitation on iOS is you cannot purchase the paid watch faces. So if you saw my full review of the Elite Pro, you would see that there's a whole bunch of watch faces that you can buy. Instead, in the iOS app, you get a whole bunch of free downloadable watch faces and no paid option. So definitely a plus point there. I am going to be doing a full iOS review soon for the Elite Pro, so do stay tuned for that. So those were the physical and specs compared, but realistically, which watch is better for you? So this is how they both look on my wrist. And if you're wondering, I have a wrist circumference of 7 inches. The Elite Pro has a bigger screen, bigger in dimensions, it's thicker and slightly heavier. The GT2 Pro is certainly more compact in comparison, slimmer and lighter. Now, wearing both on my wrist, the Elite Pro definitely feels a lot more heavier. than the GT2 Pro. Now the Elite Pro has some advanced features like the app gallery, so you can download third-party apps, but I think Huawei has jumped the gun with the release date, as there are no real big name apps that you can download. So no Strava, no Spotify, and no Google apps. In fact, the Elite Pro also has NFC built in, but you cannot make NFC payments yet, as there is no app for it natively, and you cannot download one yet from the App Store. Now drop detection and SOS alerts is coming via a firmware update late June. So you have all of these advanced features in the Elite Pro, but realistically, you cannot make use of them yet. So if we compare the features of what can be used on both of these watches, then technically they are exactly the same. Same health features, same Bluetooth calls. The extra features you're getting on the Elite Pro is basically the rotating 3D crown, the eSIM support, the skin temperature monitoring, and Celia voice assistant is also new. Otherwise, using the Elite on a day-to-day basis, I can't actually do anything extra on this at the moment, apart from the 3 or 4 things I mentioned that I cannot do on the GT2 Pro. Yes, there is potential there. You have full smartwatch features, but they have not yet been utilized. This is early stage for the Elite Pro, and the new Watch 3 series is set to release on the 16th of June. Firmware updates are expected, and new features can be dropped at any time. Now, what I do like is Huawei have created the Watch 3 series as a smartwatch with all the right ingredients in place. We just have to wait and see how Huawei cooks those ingredients via firmware updates. They have the potential of making the Watch 3 series the best and the most successful smartwatch in the world, but it won't happen without better software support. So Huawei really needs to pull out their wallet and start paying those developers to port over all of those major and popular smartwatch apps. So if you already have the GT2 Pro and considering to upgrade, I would actually wait a bit for a few more updates to drop to see if we actually get the better functionality. Otherwise, if you buy this now, you may not see the difference between the Elite Pro and the GT2 Pro that you're already using. My personal feeling and experience is I absolutely love the watch. I love HarmonyOS. I love the direction that Huawei are taking this in. But I have to say, I think they need to slow down, get the big developers on board, launch all the third-party apps. Then you will see the difference in this product and how useful it can be. Otherwise, the product will seem inferior than it actually is. But that is also the only way you can justify being priced similar to the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3 or Apple Watch. Now remember, the Apple Watch and the Galaxy Watches, they have the full-featured apps, third-party app supports, amongst so many other features. People complain about the battery life, but this is a full-featured smartwatch. And a full-featured smartwatch with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC payments, along with third-party app downloads and much, much more, will always consume more battery. So 2 to 3 day battery on the Galaxy Watch 3, 2-day battery on this full-featured smartwatch. But this is not a full-featured smartwatch. This is a fitness tracker, but a very premium fitness tracker. It will do the fitness parts really well, but you will not get any of those smart features. And of course, some of us don't need those extra smart features. So this might be enough for your own needs. It depends what you're looking for in a smartwatch. Me personally, for my own use, I need a full-featured smartwatch, and this is my daily driver at the moment. The Galaxy Watch 3, slim, light, everything works. Lots of apps for whenever you need them. It's a brilliant watch. Now, I hope you found this comparison useful, and I hope it gives you a better insight between these two flagship smartwatches. Now, I must admit, I am a fan of Huawei smartwatches, but at the end of the day, I will always review them with full honesty so people know exactly what they are buying. I am quite impressed with the Pro Elite. I'm actually also testing the standard GT3 Active, which is slightly smaller and thinner, and that full review is coming soon, and I will be sharing my experiences very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.